congratulations for
I
it.
just thought it's wet. It's sad. It's funny, but sad at the same time. The Queen Elizabeth just passed away. I think she's meeting. All of a sudden, it would be weird as hell just to hear out in the sky, "Welcome to the Gulag," and it's her and Princess Diana. Welcome aboard to the Article 1776 podcast. I am your co-host, Matthew Kicklighter, aka MK Warhammer. This is my business partner and co-host,
Scottsdale 87, and you fucking know
Dang
it.
right. Who's got their thing running in the background? Because I heard
What
never mind. I heard nothing. It's me. But okay. Special guest, Popcorn Colonel, awesome dude, fellow veteran, badass motherfucker. How's everyone doing today?
Doing all right, brother. How are you guys doing?
Fucking cold and soggy.
Florida life. Florida life, son.
So you got stabbed by a crackhead?
That's pretty much everywhere, mainly LA. Throwing shade.
No, that's heroin. LA is heroin.
And homeless.
Or
and homelessness too.
Hold on, I gotta fix my tie. Hold on.
Homeless shroom addicts. There's a state up there where that shit's actually legal, medicinally legal, that you could just go and get shrooms.
What state is that? I want to go there.
I've seen. That brings up a good topic real quick. I saw this a few weeks ago on Instagram. He was actually on the Black Rifle podcast and Free Range American podcast, but he is a former Navy SEAL, and he is advertising advocating for the right for veterans with PTSD to have medicinal psychedelics as a treatment for PTSD.
I would have to take.
Now, I have a question.
Okay.
With what comes with PTSD and what comes with psychedelics, if you've ever experimented with psychedelics, it unlocks a section of your brain that doesn't need to be unlocked in everyday life.
Is that why I'm the way I am?
I don't think that there's any kind of like explanation for why you are.
I think I need to write a whole entire length of a Bible verse or chapter just in order to figure that one out.
Man, you see, now you're taking it a little too far, bro, because I've never done a psychedelic in my life.
He says, looking off screen. But my question really is, don't you think that could create a problem? Like, you get someone who just gets perma-fried, and then all of that crap that's loaded up in there, especially a combat veteran, a Navy SEAL even. Don't you think that's a recipe for disaster?
You know, there have been studies conducted on the topic, and
okay, don't talk about MK Ultra.
No, and what they found is in the right dosages, it can be used therapeutically to help. In little microdoses, yes, it can help therapeutically. Now, last study I read regarding the topic was a while ago. I mean, I know there's been more released about it, more definitive things, but from what I last read, okay, they were saying that they're actually getting good results out of it when under a controlled setting, okay, giving controlled doses. So I wouldn't know how that would go or they possibly might have done studies on it, but I don't know how that would go if they did it to where if the person was doing microdosing on their own. Okay, if he would flip out or what, he or she, I mean, if the person would flip out or not, I don't know.
I feel
but
like that would have to be like facility controlled.
Yeah, I feel like so too, because I mean, you can pretty, if you open up your mind, man, it's especially to some of the stuff that a lot of our combat veterans have seen, even police officers, firemen, stuff like that. Okay.
EMTs, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, EMTs, all of that stuff. It can really just take a fucked situation and make it even more fucked. You know, for
what's
the
your
person.
way in, Matt?
Well, for me, I spent about a week in the psychiatric ward. It would have to tend to a person's. So say like if we were to smoke weed and do some edibles or something like that, some people have an adverse effect to it. Some people are more mellow. And like I said, some people are more paranoid. It depends upon the person. Not every single situation, not every single, like shroom, what may pay dividends for you may cause an adverse effect towards myself or Popcorn Kernel. That's something that people got to think about, is because what Popcorn Kernel said, it has to be kind of, I want to say hospitalized, but more looked at after for people with specific situations.
So the real reason I asked though is, look, I'm very transparent. I've dabbled in psychedelics in like college and shit. I knew a guy who me and him took the same amount of, I guess for lack of a better term, LSD. And it brought out a subconscious in him that was fucking disturbing. Like, I had to take him outside and like, look, we get all the fucking sly shit you're saying on the low. Someone's about to fuck you up right now, and because I love you and I'm your friend, you need to sit the fuck down. Like, everybody in here is mellow. We were watching Trailer Park Boys all night. And he's just talking about false gods and prophets and idols and people who think they say you're your friends and they're actually snakes and they're gonna stab you in the back and shit. I had to pull the man out, like, look, dude, you need to calm the fuck down. Someone's about to pick you up and drop you. It just, the next morning he didn't remember any of it, and he was back to his normal, happy-go-lucky, always smiling self. And I think that it unlocks that part of you that is completely uninhibited.
The part that a lot of us try to hide.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Or work so hard to bottle up and just freaking seal it.
Yeah, just to try to do your everyday shit to get through in life, you bottle a lot of crap, and like in a high amount, it could probably bring that to fruition, and it could probably cause damage either for you or somebody else.
Here's the thing too, and this is a statistic of how it is. Okay, so 85% of, and not saying that females, there are some badass females that do this too, but 80% of the combat arms, any of the front line of war, is held by men. Men have a 4 times more suicide rate than what women do. Look at,
especially in the services, yeah, definitely.
So, and like I said, there are some things outside that can contribute to women harm and stuff, like magazines. But from what I think, that marijuana, and I'm a pro advocate for it, marijuana has not killed anyone. Pills will. How many times have you heard someone overdose from prescription pills? I've known a few that I didn't even know were that bad off. For instance,
One of them I actually found the next morning after she had been dead for a
And
few
you know
hours.
what's crazy to me? And now that I think about it, I don't know why I thought about it, but now. But Popcorn Kernel. You might feel some type of way. I felt pissed off as soon as I heard this. Did you hear what happened that they're doing up in the VA in Canada?
No, I haven't heard anything about the Canadian Veterans Affairs System.
So one veteran called the VA up there, and a representative, because he was legitimately asking for help. Legitimately.
Right.
The representative, and I guess it's like a part of their policy they haven't changed up. The representative that was on the phone with him offered euthanization.
Clinical euthanization for someone who it feels like they're at the end of their rope.
So assisted suicide, basically, as we would call it.
Yeah.
Here.
So why the fuck? Okay, so I would rather much prefer helping that gentleman out and doing the best he can, and maybe prescribing him some medical marijuana to really help him on out. So why the fuck would anyone else before? And look, if you look at it this way, the VA has been well known for overprescribing people what they need. Well known.
Yeah.
Well, that's any medical practice, not just a VA system. That's any medical practice.
I knew a Marine who blew his eardrums out on the shooting range, forgot to wear his ear probe, blew his eardrum out, and had to have surgery. And after his surgery, he'd get pains every now and then just because it's your fucking ear. It's sensitive. He'd get a pain every now and then. He'd take a Vicodin. Pain out of that for like 3 years. They just kept prescribing him Vicodin. He had never taken Vicodin a day before in his life. Never broken a bone. Never fucked up his hand and needed it. He was he was a fucking staff sergeant. He was in good fucking shape. Blew his eardrum out one day. Got fucking surgery. Next thing you know, he's hooked on fucking Vicodin.
Happens a lot, man. Happens a lot. Happens more than you know. But
it happens in both sectors, civilian and military.
Yeah.
It sucks.
So,
the whole opiate thing is just fucking retarded.
Yeah, but going back to Matt's question regarding the euthanization there, this may sound insensitive of me, okay? But this is my opinion, okay? Yes, it will affect others, but if a person wants to end their life, it is my opinion that it is their choice. Okay. Do I agree with it? Okay. No, absolutely not. If a person comes up to me and tells me that they want to end their life, or I see signs of that happening, I would want to do whatever it is that I can do to help that person change their mind and not end their life. Okay. Yeah. But at the end of the day, okay, it is their choice. Yeah. As a friend, as a brother, a sister, aunt, uncle, whatever the case might be, it's going to affect me. It's going to affect the rest of the family. It's going to affect that person's, other friends, so on and so on. All right. I'm not denying that. But at the end of the day, it is that person's choice. Again, do I agree with it? No. But we're all people. We're all about freedom. We live in this free country. Shouldn't it be our choice whether that's the route that we want to go or not?
It's illegal to actually kill yourself?
It is, which is why insurance companies won't pay out if you commit suicide, this, that, and the other, and, a slew of other things. But yeah, because you're ending human life, something that's held precious. Or any life is held precious. You can't get charged
for it because obviously if you post,
you're dead. Anyway, yeah,
and then it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't matter anyway. But yeah, it's literally illegal to kill yourself.
Which is why if you get caught by an authority figure like a police or whatever, they could bring you in to hold you for observation in the nut house, for a lack of a better term, at this point in time.
Well, I guess I guess if a suspect was trying to SBC, they could probably try to charge him with attempted. I don't think it would stick either, though.
Attempted self-murder?
Yeah, basically suicide by cop is basically forever sleep, self-forever sleep.
There is such a thing. And what's crazy about that is that there's been several cases to where people were like,
so many
cases are like, oh, this is a sweet, innocent young boy. He wouldn't even harm our person. He wouldn't harm anyone. But yet, when the police cams show that he's literally chasing a police officer with a blade in his hand.
But here's the thing: if you charge the individual for attempted self-murder, like I'm just going to call it that, all right? But anyways, suicide by cop, okay? If you charge the individual with that, then the charges would have to be forwarded, like anything else, okay, would have to be forwarded to the next most direct family member. So if there's a fine associated with that charge, and let's say the next of kin is the mother, then the mother would have to pay that fine. So if they decide to push that charge, it would literally not just, this mother just lost her son or daughter, okay? And now you're charging the son or daughter with suicide by cop, which would bring a fine. And by law, if you were to push that, the mother would have to pay that fine.
Yeah. It's all stupid, but I just think it's funny. I don't know. Wait, hang on. Let me rephrase that.
If you want,
it's not funny. It's not funny. Nothing about Self Forever Sleep is funny. No. I think that it's funny that somebody actually made that a law and was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Well, most of our laws that we use today, even still today in this country, are based on Christian beliefs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely. After all, this country was brought up initially on Christian values, quote unquote, quote unquote. But yeah, so a lot of our laws, like, the whole adultery thing, sodomizing, stuff like that, sodomy.
What if she's into it?
Well, sodomy is basically any position other than the missionary.
Yeah, see.
Well, then I'm fucked. I'm an outlaw.
Last time I stepped inside of a church, I'm like, man, it's a sauna in here, like shit. And but I'm preferably one not to like force my beliefs down anyone's throat, and I would hope the same and vice versa. Like I've had several people that were like, oh, if you don't believe in Jesus, this or that, you're going to hell, or something like that. I literally said to someone, well, I've made a Christian, a Jewish, and an atheist girl scream, "Oh God!" at once.
So I had an ex-roommate several years ago, and I had fallen asleep on the couch, and I wasn't answering the door, but somebody was banging on the freaking door. So my buddy pops out of his room, butt-ass naked, right? Opens the door, and it's these 3 old Jehovah's Witness ladies. And she's like, can we talk to you about... And she didn't realize through the security door that he was naked. Can we talk to you about, the Jehovah's Witness program? He opens the security door, completely, balls to the world, and yells at him, like only 2,100 of you are actually getting into heaven anyway. What the fuck are the rest of you going to do? Slams the door in their faces and goes back to bed.
I did hear something about that is written in their religion, that only a certain amount of them are actually going to be able to make it into heaven.
How many Jehovah's Witnesses are allowed into heaven?
Oh, God.
About 144,000.
144,000?
Yeah. Now, here's the second question. Hey, Siri, how many Jehovah's Witnesses are there? La, la, la.
Royal Rumble.
Right?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking some big WWE event.
Bro, there's no way this is going to work out. Their math is so wrong. 8.7 million adherents involved in... Yeah, so 8.7... No, that's something else. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar of the Jehovah's Witnesses just start F5ing people
God,
left and right.
This is what it says. Jehovah's Witnesses is a
popcorn kernel.
Millenarian. I don't know what this fucking word is. Millenarian restorationist Christian denomination with non-Trinitarian beliefs. What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know, but all I can think about right now after what Matt said was, for some reason, Stone Cold Steve Austin just going around freaking doing the Stone Cold Stunner on each and one of them, bro.
Oh my God. Anybody who gets back, any Jehovah's Witness that gets back up after a stunner gets to go in. What?
If you can survive the Stone Cold Stunner, you're getting into heaven.
Oh my God. Yeah, so apparently these crazies have been around since the 1870s. There's 8.7 million of them to approximately 21 million of them. And only 144,000 of them are getting into heaven. I want to fucking see that, and I'll pay pay-per-view prices for it.
I just thought it's wet. It's sad. It's funny, but sad at the same time. The Queen Elizabeth just passed away. I think she's meeting. All of a sudden, it would be weird as hell just to hear out in the sky, "Welcome to the Gulag." And it's her and Princess Diana.
Oh man,
that's fun. Princess Diana's like, I've been fucking waiting for this. She's all jacked and shit. Like Heaven Diana's just all jacked.
She's been working out this whole entire time.
She's had like 23 years just to bulk up. I mean, I guarantee she runs the 220 and 40.
Bro, she's been up there training with Yokozuna, bro.
We're going to hell, aren't we?
We're here.
You might. I'm not.
I don't give a fuck at this point. But
I'm wherever I go, just put me by a bonfire. Wherever I go, just put me next to a bonfire.
Just give me an endless pile of steak.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, just give me whiskey and steak.
Meat coffin.
So,
just like put them in a freezer.
All right. So
don't touch the big one.
Serious topic that I've always, and this is getting a spicy, especially in fucking Twitter. Everyone's a politician on Twitter. Everyone. Fuck.
Is this about Elon Musk?
Well, that can be. Can that be that too? But the whole.
I'm surprised nobody has asked me why I decided to dress all fancy today. You know.
Why is that?
You know, the tie.
Oh, well, you look good.
He wasn't talking about the sweater.
Boy, you look good.
I'm dressed all fancy. Look at this. I'm dressed up.
We look good.
I can't wait till I can get you into a fucking article shirt.
But okay, so this is gonna be spicy. Be prepared. The Brittany Griner.
I like it.
The Brittany Griner, Marine.
No, I don't want to talk about this.
Whoa! Wow, spicy boy.
Yeah.
So okay. I get this. I'm all for not leaving another man.
We're doing this, right? We're talking about this? Okay.
I'm all for not leaving another man behind. But there are some questions. 100% that I do have some questions about. And I would not, it's good to see that another American came home alive, regardless of her beliefs or not, but I don't know if I would trade a Brittany Griner for a fucking law person. And then what is it? What's his name? Arms dealer. Yeah,
Victor Barton or something or some shit like that.
Yeah, and there.
I was reading about it today.
And then there's the other side to where people are saying, well, this dude was caught for espionage, the Marine, that is. This dude was caught for espionage, working for another agency, all this and that sort. What are your guys' take on it?
Pop, I'll let you have the floor first.
Look, all I'm going to say is there's a reason why things happened the way they did. Okay. And there is a such thing called as spoofs, and we'll deny everything if you get caught. So I'm thinking, aside of what everybody is saying, that's exactly what happened. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Yeah.
One of those things, you know, and he And it just so happened he got
Mhm.
caught. You know? So,
Yeah.
I hate to put it that way, but aside of everything and what the media is saying, he was doing some spoofy ass
Mhm.
shit for,
The Marine.
yes,
Okay. Well, I mean, so
and got caught.
be that as it may, I don't know necessarily that he was in espionage. I haven't read anything up on the
Yeah.
guy. I was at work.
There's
I was
always a
taking
side
these-
story. They make up stories for everything, but he was
That's true.
probably some CIA spoof or some shit.
So I was actually at work. I was taking a shit. I just scrolling through shit, so I only know a little bit about it. Now, but I have to take Joe Rogan's standpoint on this. Now, if you listened to Joe Rogan the other day, he said that she got arrested in Russia with, I think it was 9 to 11 grams of cannabis hash oil and in like the vaporizer cartridges and stuff like that. It's not known whether she tried to sneak it in, whether she forgot about it, or was just bringing it in
Mhm.
blatantly. Okay. I figured she thought, maybe her social standing would kind of give her a free pass. Russia didn't play that game, put her in jail for a while. You have hundreds of thousands of people in prison in the United States in jail for minor drug charges involving marijuana to the same degree that Brittany Griner had in
Mhm.
Russia. And we gave Russia a notorious arms dealer for someone who's good at throwing a basketball
Mhm.
around. But we can't negotiate the release of some 19-year-old kid who got picked up in the park smoking a joint without making this kid do, I've seen cases where they've padded charges and shit where they're adding, 5, 6, 7 years to a small misdemeanor charge.
Fortunately, life is a popularity contest, man. That's really what it is.
The fact that we could not get 2 Americans for one notorious arms dealer who was wanted in more than one fucking country. And the fact that the administration even had the balls to put that motherfucker up for dangle shows a lot about where our politicians are going nowadays.
It's not the first time that Biden fucking left an American behind. 13, Afghanistan.
No, I mean,
but you got to think about it too, in the sense that Brittany Griner, she said it herself. She lived there in Russia for a little bit. She knew the laws there. She knew the cannabis was actually against the law. So
So then she was smuggling it in, and then she should have done her
Yeah.
time because it would happen here.
Yeah.
Matthew, I swear to God, right now in Florida, if you were to get pulled over in your car and had weed in your car, even if it was 9, 10 grams, what do you think would happen?
I would get arrested because of the simple fact that
Most likely.
because number one, I think in the state of Florida, you cannot have a cannabis card and be a legal gun owner.
That's true, and I think that
Yeah.
sucks.
By the way, guys, this is the true star of the show right here.
A beautiful
Right.
little one.
Cookie, look.
Hi, guy. Hi.
Right there, Cookie. Up there. Up there. Look, up there.
See, and that's crazy because in Jersey, you don't have to have a medicinal card because it's recreationally legal out here.
I was going to
you
say,
don't
yeah.
you don't have to have a medicinal card, but you have to have a license to own a gun. You can have your license to own a
Mhm.
gun and still go to the dispensaries.
In New Jersey?
And there's no like, and there's in New Jersey, there's no like, hey, you can't have this and
Mhm.
do this like Florida does.
You're just
Which is
smoking a
weird.
flower, man. I mean, come on now.
I mean,
Yeah.
right? Or an oil. Ask Brittany Griner.
Oh, police officers are awesome dudes. There's a bad apple in every single aspect, but also as well, the media, both with law enforcement and politics, like to kind of play sides or exacerbate what type of issue is going on. Like
Yeah.
that's why.
No, that's definitely true. I've seen that.
That's why here in Article 1776 clothing will always implore you to do your own independent research and to gather for it and then gathering your own thoughts and opinions.
See, that's the problem. You could tell people to do their own independent research, right? But most people don't know how to research.
One thing, and this is one thing that I've learned, you cannot stick with one individual media outlet. You have to hear everything from every side. As much as you don't like it, okay, you can be a hardcore Republican, but you still need to be watching MSNBC. You still need to be watching CNN if you're that hard into politics. You know, if you're really that hard up into it, you really just need to listen to the big stories that are happening, but you need to hear them from every news media before you sit there and decide, this sounds more plausible than this.
But see, here's the thing, though. Those are all opinion-based. Okay, and this is why I say people don't know how to research, because people look at everything that's opinion-based rather than look at actual fact. Okay, and that's the problem, because people are going to believe whatever fits their belief. Okay, so whatever fits their opinion and beliefs, that's what they're going to believe regardless of what the facts are. Okay. And this is why I say people don't know how to research, because they don't know how to look at the facts.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know where to find the facts.
Yeah.
They're just going to look at whatever is on Twitter or Facebook,
WikiLeaks,
or a quick Google search. That's what most people, that's most people's research technique.
Yeah. I've said it before to people, and echo chambers, echo chamber. Echo chambers are the worst.
Lemon lips.
Yeah. So no, echo chambers. Damn it! I did it again. God, get the cock out of my mouth.
Smoke another one.
Echo chambers are the worst.
Oh, man, I like it in there, bro. So echo chambers are the worst.
Yeah, echo.
Scott Still.
Scott Still's like, I don't know. I don't want any part. I tried to control this.
I don't want to be here anymore.
But no, echo chambers are the worst, because if you're stuck on echo chambers that are mainly for your own thoughts, you're not going to hear the thoughts that are opinions that might make you think, oh, well, that's kind of true too. Let me see more about this side. For that, I encourage people to have their thoughts challenged. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you were to just go throughout life and just saying, okay, I'm looking at it only through this way and not look at things at a broader spectrum, that is complacency. That, to me, is part of complacency, and complacency kills. You're only having some certain tunnel vision to where if you're thinking, oh, this is the only right way without not looking past the blind spots, then you're kind of fucking yourself.
I'm waiting to hear what Scott Still has to say, judging by, just by judging his face.
Chris Beck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know the name?
Yeah, I've heard him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Chris Beck, who came out as trans and has been living as a trans woman for as long as I have heard his name in the media, announces detransition. He's now going from Kristen Beck back to Chris Beck. A retired Navy SEAL who became famous nearly 10 years ago after coming out as transgender, announced he is detransitioning and called on Americans to wake up about how transgender health services are hurting children. Quote, "Everything you see on CNN with my face, do not even believe a word of it," Chris Beck, formerly known as Kristen Beck, told conservative influencer Robbie Starbuck. Now, that's a little bit of a red flag right there. In an interview published earlier this month, "Everything that happened to me for the last 10 years has destroyed my life. I destroyed my life. I am not a victim. I did this to myself, but I had help. I take full responsibility," he continued. "I went on CNN and everything else, and that's why I'm here right now trying to correct that." Another quote says, I was used, I was very naive and in a really bad way, and I got taken advantage of. I got propagandized. I got used badly by a lot of people who had knowledge way beyond me. They knew what they were doing, and I didn't. Holy fuck.
It goes back to what I say. Remember what I said? That
I'm not even going to lie, man. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know what any of that means. I mean, okay, yeah, he was transgender and then he decided to go back, but he was used for propaganda. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
Yeah. Remember what I said a while back, that there is a percentage of transgenders that regret going from a male to female or female to male transitioning point and want to take that thing back.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, right there.
They've been pushing for it so freaking much.
I've said it before in prior podcasts. There is a percentage of people that regret transitioning.
This is all confusing.
Yeah, I said it before in prior podcasts. There are people that are out there that are regretting that they did the transition. Yet people don't look at that.
Look, the way I see it is this. There are people, okay, and this is my personal belief. There are people who are literally born into the wrong body per se, just symbolically speaking, okay? People who believe they are females but were born into a male body. I do believe that that's a thing, okay? However, all right, for the majority, well, I'm not going to say majority, but for a lot of the people who were transitioning, it became a fad to do so because people were already doing it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not knocking on the people who are legitimate, okay? But it did become a fad for a lot of people because they saw a lot of people doing it. And so for a lot of people, when I said this, when this whole thing started getting publicized about all the different gender identities and all this stuff, and I said, okay, it's good for the people who truly feel that way, all right? But what's going to end up happening is a lot of people are going to follow suit just because they think it sounds cool, all right? And to me, it's those people who did it because they thought it sounded cool because they wanted to be recognized for something for some reason because they were at a point of their life where they didn't know if they, what their purpose was or anything, went ahead and took this route and now are regretting it.
It's so confusing. I've kind of given up on it.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who are legitimate in that, and I believe that. But like I said, there are a lot others who did it only because it became the faddish thing to do. I mean, just look, all of a sudden these different gender identities now you got people making shit up. Yeah, I identify as a cardboard box. Okay? I mean, you got I not too long ago I was at the market and I ran into this female who identified as a cat and acted like a cat. And was even walking around the store meowing.
If I identify as a cardboard box, shit, you can fit a lot of things into you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you got people just now coming out of nowhere, and it's not because with a lot of them, it is, with a lot of them, it's not even that they truly identify that way, is that they're just trying to find a place for themselves at that point in time.
Yeah.
And so this is the only other way that they could probably figure that out, and so and that's what it is with all these gender identities and, not with everyone though. Again, I must specify once again, not with everyone. Okay. But with a lot of people, it's just trying to find their place. And they may identify as that because that may be the cool thing to do now. Yeah. I mean, just like look at the 90s, baggy pants, white t-shirt, symbol and boots, You were made fun of if you wore tight jeans. Now look at everybody nowadays wearing freaking jeans that are tighter than their own skin.
Yeah, I think it's, and I agree with the 100% what Scott Steele said. He said it before too, is that let a kid be a kid. And when it comes to the coming on out, whether it be later on in the teen years or close, like mom or dad, I'm gay, or I think that I think I'm a trans or want to become a trans. That's great. Good. Whatever that you want to do, but let kids be kids.
No.
I think that, and I said that to people before. I think people should let kids be kids. Uh,
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, like kids be kids, definitely. I mean, I believe in the whole LGBTQ
Yeah.
thing. Okay. And I mean, I have LGBTQ friends. I've got
Same.
lesbians that are married, gays that are married, transes that are married friends, you know. I have friends in all those categories. But I believe in LGBTQ,
Yo, look at
okay?
chat.
But one thing that gets me is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, why should I have to remember all that? I know what's going on.
but do you know who is not confused about the alphabet system? You guys?
Fucking
No.
Article 1776, and we
Look.
don't play around with that alphabet soup
Yes.
shit.
But you get me though, right? You get me though. With all the
Absolutely.
other ones,
Oh yeah.
Freaking, what is there now?
Absolutely,
Like
like-
175 recognized gender identities now?
188.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you can get all the shirts A through Z at article1776.com. I was trying to find a fucking transition.
That's good. That's good. Keep it. Keep it. Keep
I
it.
tried to find the transition. I tried to find a fucking transition.
My shirt identifies as pig.
That's a good one. I like that one.
This shirt is a cantaloupe.
Go get Fuck. You guys are the fucking reason why I drink. Damn it. Fuck. Fuck.
I'm Scottsdale87. You can catch me at Article 1776 on the podcast on YouTube. Scottsdale_87 on Instagram. Scottsdale87 on Twitch and Insta. Twitter.
Yeah, you could shop for our clothes at article1776.com. All the discount codes are in the link to the description. And you can find me, MK Warhammer 0311 on Twitch. That's twitch.tv, MK Warhammer 0311. You can find me at Instagram, instagram.com/Kicklighter Matthew 1988. And you can find our company, Article 1776, on Instagram at instagram.com/Article 1776 Clothing. Popcorn Colonel, thank you so much for coming on by, being a wonderful guest for the umpteenth time. You're a fucking awesome. Guys,
You're a fucking gem.
enjoy the fuck out of the freedom and freedom the fuck on. Love you guys.